there's a certain paradox in the business right now, and I think to talk about the world without newspapers, you need to understand sort of the economics of newspapers. And the paradox is that while our reach, I think, Rob, in your opening remarks, you talked about the reach of newspapers. The reach of newspapers has never been greater. We reach, in terms of readers of the paper, plus our website presence and digital products, we reach more people today than we ever have. So, from that standpoint, you say that's great, but the paradox is that the economics of the business have never been worse. And so I thought what I'd do is I want to share a few data points, maybe debunk a myth here in my remaining 3 minutes, and give you a couple, real actual data points from the morning call, just so you can understand the sort of state of the business. So one of the myths is newspapers are not relevant, we're not doing our job, no one's reading the newspaper, therefore there's no advertisers in the newspaper, therefore newspapers are dead or soon to be. And that's a myth. Again, I think from a readership standpoint, readership is strong. To understand the myth, you really have to understand the economics of the newspaper business. And the newspaper business for a long, long time was established based upon the idea, sort of had monopoly power. We were able to put out a lot of products, we were able to drive a lot of advertising revenue, which supported the main function, the main job of journalism. So let me give you a few facts. Over the last 3 or 4 years, most newspapers, including mine, have lost about 30 to 35% of our revenue, of our advertising revenue. We've lost about half of our profitability. And again, to make that even more stark, I'll give you a real number. Since 2005, so you think about what's changed 2005, 2006, the Morning Call has lost about $13 million of revenue in our Help Wanted ads. So our Help Wanted ads, which are recruitment, you want a job, you go out to the Help Wanted ads, you find a job. We used to record, we used to have $13 million more dollars of that kind of revenue 4 or 5 years ago. That's more than my entire budget for my newsroom operations today. Again, it's a real number. Why has that happened? Well, it really hasn't happened because we failed journalistically. It's really happened because, well, you used to have 4% unemployment, now we have 10% unemployment, there aren't as many jobs. And second, there are a lot of other places to look for a job. We have online job boards, you have Craigslist, you have a lot more competition than we had even 5 years ago. You go back 10 years ago, there was even less competition. So that is one of the sort of underpinnings economically of the business. And what I say is, that old economic model has collapsed, and we're trying to make and invent a new economic model every day. But I think a key here is to debunk the myth, which is nobody reads a newspaper, nobody cares anymore, we're not doing our job, with the notion that that's inextricably linked to the economics of the business. There is this paradox where we reach a lot of people, the underlying old business model's gone. In some ways, we're like a startup company. We're trying to make this stuff up, we're trying to make up a new business model as we go along. In that sense, it's an absolutely exciting time to be in the business because we are and we will find our way